Tell us when we're live. Hello, everybody. This is Leticia coming to you this Thursday afternoon for another edition of my weekly Money Matters webinar series. And as announced a bit earlier today, today's topic is one that I've been getting lots of questions and requests about, meaning we're continuing a conversation about the real estate market in Playa del Carmen. And in particular, we're going to be discussing some investment opportunities, condo investment opportunities. And joining me today, I have the pleasure of having as my guests the lovely Mariana and Eugenia. Mariana Racero and Eugenia Castillo. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you, Leti.
Okay, these lovely ladies are working with one of the biggest and most reputable developers, condo developers here in Playa del Carmen, called Menesi. Or Menese, the way they might pronounce it in Spanish, okay? And so I think we're gonna start by having a little bit of a conversation as to, first of all, why are we even talking about this area? What's so special about the Riviera Maya and Playa del Carmen in general? Oh my God, I gotta stick to one language, I think. And then we're going to talk a little bit about why this particular company, as opposed to perhaps other developers that are also working in Playa. And then we're going to get into some concrete numbers, you know, some of the projects that the developer currently has available for sale. And because I know many of you in Canada are wondering, you know, can I invest as a Canadian in this area, and what are the prices like, and what's available over there? Can you give me an idea? So today we're going to be a little more specific than my first presentation on the topic. So thanks again for joining us, lovely ladies.
Oh, thank you, Leti.
Okay. So you know, both of you have been living in Playa for a number of years. And by the way, everyone, how I met Eugenia is that we helped some clients get into a couple of rentals over here, and they were very happy. And so it's been a pleasure working with Eugenia on the rental side of things. So when she told me she was starting to work with this developer, I already knew about the developer. So I was like, perfect, now I have a contact there. And Mariana, you've been with Menesi for a bit longer, right?
Yeah, I've been here. No, very well the market. Also, I've been in another company for
Oh man, the sound is a little bit cracking up. I don't know if we can maybe have you come a little bit closer to the mic. Okay. Okay, thank you. So ladies, why don't you tell our audience, and first of all, everyone, thank you for joining us. If you are watching this on YouTube, which is a new thing I'm doing now, I'm doing live streams on YouTube as well. Please like this video and subscribe. I'm learning to say that, okay? And for everyone joining us on Facebook, whether you're joining us on Facebook or on YouTube, if you have any questions, please put them in the comment section, and we'll have a look every so often and try to address your questions, okay? So ladies, why don't you tell our audience a little bit about why we're even looking at Playa del Carmen? What's so special about this part of Mexico and the world?
Okay. Do you want to start with the? Well, as you know, English is not as fluent as my Spanish, so I will try. But if anything is not right, please correct me. Okay. So basically, Playa del Carmen is amazing, and it's a great place to live, to work, to invest, because it has all the touristic points. For example, the blue ocean, that is amazing. We have all attractive of natural attractives, and intercultural and multicultural ambience or atmosphere here. The Mexican food is delicious, and basically it has been growing for the last 10 years in the real estate market, but also in the touristic market. So that's why I think it's a hot spot in Latin America right now.
Got it. And in terms of growth, I mean, I remember reading on one of your slides, and perhaps you can share that with us shortly. It's experienced something like 32% growth in, was it in population or in development in the past 10 years?
Yes.
Oh, okay, you're going to be sharing some slides with us. Fantastic. Let me know when you're ready to start the slides share, and I'll add you to the stream. Okay, okay.
Okay. Now you can see it?
Okay. Yeah, I can see it. Okay. Yeah. So
Okay.
Mexico in itself being a huge touristic destination. Okay.
Okay. Why this is a promising market? Well, first of all, because we are in the seventh place in 2018, like one of the highest touristic arrivals in the world. We are competing or comparing with Estados Unidos, I mean USA, France, Spain, China, Italy, and Turkish. So basically, we are growing up right now after the COVID situation. I'm sure that we are in the first 5 places because this area
Oh,
was
definitely.
one of the unique places around the world that was open for the beaches
Correct.
to okay. So
Correct.
definitely this quantity of people tells you that you will have a huge target of people that who wanted to rent your Airbnb. So you can tell us more about that, right?
Yeah, so since Letty and I, we used to be focused on rentals, that we've seen a lot increase on people looking for rent, especially short term, and now has been moving because it's kind of like people moving into Playa looking for stay for a month, and they're staying for 3-4 months at a time, right, Letty?
Yeah, we're seeing, I mean, even my experience previously, I came to Playa previously as a tourist, and every time I would stay about 2 weeks and always thinking like, oh, I wish I could stay longer. But now, I think with the phenomenon that we're seeing with the digital nomads, people having the ability increasingly to work remotely, it's been a
Mm-hmm.
blessing, I think, for this area because people are thinking, well, I could do my job from my home in Canada in a cold climate where on top of that I'm dealing with all these restrictions, or I could work remotely from a place like Playa del Carmen. I'm living in paradise, and potentially for a lower cost of living, and a much better lifestyle. Let's face it. Thankfully, as Mariana pointed out, Mexico, at least this part of Mexico, has adopted a policy of continuing to remain open. I'm not saying that there have been no restrictions, but it's significantly less than so many other places in the world. So what I'm seeing is, an influx of people who are coming here and staying for months at a time. So Eugenia and I have had the experience of it's literally hard to find rentals. Now, I'm not gonna lie, you know, there are rentals for every budget in Playa del Carmen, and you're gonna find people are saying, oh, if somebody really wants to live on very little, you can find those rentals as well. But it's not going to be the standard of living that someone living in a metropolis like Toronto or Vancouver. It's not going to be the standard of accommodations you're used to. Whereas when you're looking at modern condos, such as what Menesi builds, for example, they are, equal and, in my opinion, in some ways above the grade of what somebody living in a modern Toronto condo is used to. Okay, so you're literally getting the same or even better standard of living, and you're going to see why when I show you guys some videos and perhaps some of the pictures of some of the projects, um, for potentially a lesser cost of living than you were paying back home, and even if this is not something that you yourself are considering for yourself, but think about the fact that there are tons of millennials and digital nomads that are making this choice right now. So that's my 2 cents on it. Ladies, please go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, one of our projects that is key, we adapt the units to the market. What does that mean? I mean, in the previous developments that we had, we don't add amenities like the business center or the laundry room, for example. And in this latest one, we did it because we feel the need of the market to put a specific place to work with the old infrastructure that could be comfy and you don't feel that you're just changing from your bed to your couch to keep working. So that's a great yeah, a great change in the design of the developments. And also, as you said, Letty, we add a laundry room because right now people in the Caribbean are not coming only for a few weeks or for a few days. People are coming here to rent like 3 4 months, working remotely and watching the sea, the ocean, while they are doing business in the rooftop of their condo. So definitely, this is one of the things that I think it's very positive for us. Um, One of the things that the COVID situation left here, but we will take advantage of the new normality, of the new values that the market will have to
Yeah.
adapt.
Yeah, I don't like that term, the new normal, and I am very much against it, but when it comes to this remote work, the ability that people have increasingly have to work remotely, I think it definitely offers some lifestyle benefits, the fact that you could work from home or even better, you could work from the rooftop pool of your playa condo or perhaps the business center if you have a meeting that you're doing and you want something even more quiet. Tell us a little bit about, so again, it's the lower cost of living, great quality of life. I can attest to that. I can attest to the quality of life. I've done a few live streams. You guys have, heard what I have to say. Taxes and maintenance costs are cheaper than in other popular destination, you're saying. Tell us, and I know you guys have a slide about carrying costs for the unit, so maybe we can cover that later. Is there something else you wanted to show us about the playa market in particular? And also, by the way, you guys, I know in the past, we've spoken about Riviera Maya, and that includes cities like Cancun, Playa del Carmen, Tulum. I remember on one of your slides, I was looking at the, okay, we can talk about that as well. Yeah, it just so happens that Playa del Carmen is in fact the number one destination that foreigners come to, more so than Cancun, more so than Tulum. And my personal experience with that is that, as I mentioned, Cancun is a bigger city. You pretty much need a car to get around, or you're going to be taking Ubers. They do have Uber in Cancun. We don't have Uber in Playa del Carmen, but we have inexpensive taxis that can take you wherever you want to go. Playa del Carmen is very walkable. It's very walkable. You can literally walk to the beach. You can walk to the grocery store, and an increasing number of grocery stores are being built. So Eugenia and I, we just passed by one of your new developments, and she's telling me, oh yeah, they're just building a new Chedraui. Chedraui is an upscale marketplace, supermarket here in Mexico. And it's going to be literally like you walk out of your condo, right across the street, you have like, think about it like a nice Loblaws for our Canadian friends. It's just all walkable and nice.
Exactly.
Tulum is less developed than Playa del Carmen, definitely has certain advantages. The beaches in Tulum are incredible. But in terms of infrastructure, it's still developing, whereas Playa has everything we need, pretty much,
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you say, Letty, for me, it's very important to let you know that Quintana Roo is a very young state. That means that Playa del Carmen and Tulum, that are the youngest municipalities, it's correct that word, are the youngest municipalities. This area will have a lot of development in the future years. This slide that I'm showing you, it's from AirDNA. Okay, AirDNA it's a platform for rental managers that helps you to watch how is the market going. Okay, and for me it's very important to show you because in the 2020 that was a challenging year, we have a average daily rate from vacational rentals of 79. Okay, in the worst year of the history for the tourism. That's huge. In other countries, the occupation was zero. The rental properties just broke down.
They were negative.
Exactly. And in this graphic, you can see that in March, that was the beginning of the pandemic situation. We will in a very stable price. Then we just fell up to July. That was the worst month. But even in the worst month, we have an average daily rate from $55 per day. That's very good because we have a very high occupation. Okay, all people of different countries come here to work remotely, to enjoy, to have a little bit more of freedom than big cities, for example, Ontario, Canada, New York, US, Mexico City, Monterrey in Mexico too, and come here. So we were always winning. We are not with the highest rates, but we have a very good occupation, even when the rate was low. Okay, and in January of 2021, it was just boom. All the prices go up, all the market went up, and that's why this is one of the most important places to invest, because it's an area that you can put your investment in dollars. So even when it's Mexico, you have the security or the the security that your investment is safe. Is actually one of the most important areas of tourism in the world. And the quality of life, as you said before, is one of the best ones because you have everything walking distance, a great quality of life, and definitely one of the most amazing natural attractions. Or what do you think?
No, for me it was crazy. The end of 2020, the beginning of 2020.
Eugenia, come a little bit into the screen. We can see you. Por favor.
There you go. To me, it was kind of crazy. The end of 2020, the beginning of 2021, especially in Tulum and Playa. In Tulum, there were no properties left to rent. People were looking everywhere to rent apartments or studios or hotels, and it was packed. Everything, October, November, December, in January and February, everything was sold out. So people were, Playa and Tulum were going crazy. So I felt kind of bad, like people were coming from New York and telling me it's ghost town. There's nothing going on. So that, in a way, I have to say, made Mexico really popular. People fell in love with Mexico, and they're willing to invest and stay with us. And then, like you say, be able to have the flexibility to work remotely. Why not do it from the beach?
Hey, certainly not complaining about that.
No.
So ladies, you told us a little bit about Playa, and we know it's I know it's literally one of the top in terms of overall Mexico. Playa del Carmen is the city that receives the most visitors in all of Mexico. I remember seeing one of your slides about that. And I think Cancun is maybe number 2, and then Tulum is number 5 on the, or I think I saw the statistics on the Cancun airport website actually.
Interesting.
Yeah, believe it or not. So Playa del Carmen, number 1 destination in Mexico for tourism, and Cancun number 2, Tulum number 5. Not sure what other cities are in between. I'm guessing maybe some of the West Coast Mexican cities. Anyway, let's talk about, tell us a little bit about the developer that you work with, Menesi. I know you know, and the reason I was even open to talking to you ladies, number 1, I knew Eugenia, but number 2, I think it's very important who you buy your property with. If you're going to consider investing, putting any of your hard-earned money into a property in Mexico. Living here in Playa for the past few months, I've noticed, unfortunately, that there are a number of condo projects or buildings that were started and never completed, and some of them apparently are left like that for years, and that's a scary scene as a potential investor, because that's the last thing you want to have happen to your money, that you've invested in a project that never gets completed for whatever reason. I'm guessing lack of funds or lack of liquidity to continue, whatever the case may be. But that's one thing we're trying to avoid very much, right? So whereas I know that Menessy has already completed a number of buildings here in Playa. So tell us a little bit about that, ladies. How long has this company been around? How long in Playa, and what have they been up to?
Okay, so the owner, this developer, he's also Argentinian like me. He is very well known in Argentina. He has tons of developments over there. So he's been in this business for about 15 years. So he came to Playa about 8 years ago, and like you and I fell in love with the destination and decided to start investing. Since then, he created 14 developments, which 9 have been delivered and sold out. And we have 5 projects that are pre-sale and ready to be bought with some units.
Actually, that's very important, because if we do the numbers, Letty, we have 8 years here. We have 14 developments. That means 2 developments per year. To get that, you have to have a great absorption. You have to have a great reputation. You have to design buildings that always look very well, very temporal, very nice, because that's the image of your future buildings. So Menezes has everything, has the trajectory. You can came here, we can show you the 9 developments that we are already delivered and are already operating in the area. And we wanted to say that Mariano, that is our boss, the developer, likes to play like Monopoly. You know what I mean?
Explain a little more. How do you mean?
Okay. Monopoly is this game where you are a table game where you are buying properties, and everybody that pass in front of the property have to pay. I mean, in this sense, we make the joke because we are in each important corner in the downtown of Playa del Carmen. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the map. This is Fifth Avenue. That is one of the biggest, the most important avenue in Latin America. It crosses almost all the city, and is very near from the beach. Okay, this avenue is famous for its restaurants, its clubs, its shops, its amazing boutiques. Exactly. So we choose strategically where we are going to build, because that will impact on the capital gain and ROI possibilities for our future clients. Why do you think that impacts, Letty? Why do you think it's important location?
In real estate, there's a saying, location. So even being here in Playa, I can tell you that most of the clients that are looking for rentals, they want to stay as close to the Fifth as possible. At the same time, they're looking for something that's going to be maybe not too loud, so not exactly like right next to the clubs. And I know where your developments are, and they're well located. They're walking distance to all the attractive areas, but at the same time, they're far enough from, let's say, the clubbing district, so people can still sleep at night. So definitely, the closer you are to the beach, the closer you are to Quinta Avenida, that walkability factor is increased. So because yes, I'm well aware that there are developments that are happening on the other side of the highway that may be a little bit less expensive, even though not by much. But then you're definitely going to need a car. That's an additional expense. And let's be realistic. If somebody is just kind of trying things out, maybe coming to Playa for the first time, staying here for 3, 4, 5 months, investing in a car maybe is not the first thing they want to be doing. And rental cars are still relatively pricey here, just so you guys know, which is why I'd rather be in a building and in an area that's walkable. If I need to rent a car for a day or two, that I have that option, but I don't necessarily want to be having to drive every day. And I think that's a lot of the potential tenants are thinking of that as well.
Yes.
Exactly. And that's one of the values that really matters for us, to have everything in a walking distance, very near from touristic points. Uh, Another thing that we consider when we choose a land to build is that all the surroundings
Yes.
are already constructed or already built, because we can assure in that way that what you are seeing, what you're watching, will stay like that. In places like Playa del Carmen and even more in Tulum, you can be surrounded by jungle, but that jungle in a short term will be probably another building. So that's another extra tip that I can give you if you're going to invest here, because we take care of these small details, but that definitely makes a difference when you put a property to rent. If you have constructions and noise, undeveloped areas, definitely it will impact in the chances to get a good reviews of the platforms like Airbnb or VRBO. And Eugenia can tell us that definitely this is the way to increase your ROI with good reviews, with good location, with good design, good amenities. So I think definitely matters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we
Okay.
also have one of the developments in Tulum, and it's located right in the downtown area. You can see it on
So
the other map right here.
why don't you show us a little bit about the few projects that you have available, and then Eugenia was nice enough to take me for a tour yesterday, so I can show you guys a few videos that I've taken of the projects that are currently under development. One that's already been completed. You'll see what I mean, but I think once you see, okay, wonderful. Perfect. Our friend Courtney says she's definitely interested. She wants to, yeah, she wants us to send her some information. Absolutely. Yeah, we'll be happy to. Oh, look what she says. Okay. Oh, geez, I didn't mean to show that on the stream. Okay. Definitely. Okay. Let's have a look at the few projects that you guys have currently available.
Of course, I would like to share more information.
You're going really fast, Senorita. Back up a bit. Back up a bit, por favor.
Of course.
Yeah, you went through the slides really fast.
Oh no,
Oh, no,
the other ones are sold out.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of projects, so I think could be interesting for you to be more specific in 2 projects, and we can share with you and your future clients more information in specific details in person, because I mean, we have 9 projects right now already operating, and 5 under pre-sale. So I would like to explain you or tell you more about Menezes Tulum, actually. And if you want, you can share with them about Coco Beach.
Perfect.
Right? Okay. Well, Letty, this is definitely one of my favorite projects, because absolutely I'm in love with Tulum. It's a magical place. A lot of people ask me, why Tulum? Why Tulum? Because
Well, we were
they
just mostly talking about Playa, but now you're talking about Tulum, which is okay. Let's talk about Tulum as well, and then maybe we can come back to the Playa projects. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's important to know both markets. We have both options. Eugenia will talk you about Coco Beach, that is in Playa, but I would like to explain you Tulum very fast, because it's another opportunity. For example, in Tulum, as I was telling you, they asked me, why Tulum? I don't know why, because you only will discover why when you are here, when you feel the vibe of the jungle, of the ruins, of the people that I know. It's a place that I think where you can be you, just yourself. Okay. Here in Tulum, we have a project for 2022, March
Mhm.
2022. It has 142 units. Okay, we are good availability right now, and we start from $125,000 up to 240 in the two bedrooms, and we have amazing penthouse, a penthouse two bedroom lock off. I don't know if you want to explain what is a lock off.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. So, Eugenia, do you want to explain it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So we don't have any. The lock off is we have a unit that is divided in two. And so there has two entrances. For example, if there's like it's a two-bedroom unit, you have one entrance to the main unit, and the extra bedroom will have a separate entrance.
Basically, it's
So you
like you
can
are buying two units in
two
one,
units in one.
which is amazing. Why?
Yeah.
Because you have the second unit, the second bedroom with a kitchenette. Okay, so actually you have two kitchens in your apartment. The second room has an independent entrance, so you can rent it out as a studio, and the other part of the unit can rent it as a one bedroom apartment. Okay, if you
Yeah.
have a big group and you want to rent it complete, you also can do it. So I think that increase the possibilities to have to take more market, and also never stop to make money,
Exactly.
and you
Yeah.
never will have your apartment alone, because you have a lot of possibilities to offer the renting or playing with the spaces. So that's one of the best units that we have in this project. I would like to share it with you a lot of the details, but I mean
That's
we
fine.
will.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. So I like what you ladies are saying. So this is a pretty unique concept that they've come up with here in the Riviera Maya, knowing that this has been and continues to be such a hot tourist destination, and more recently a digital nomad destination. You as a single person, as a couple, or even as a family, you could buy one of these one or two bedroom lock off units where you have a side of the unit that is completely self-contained. It's almost like having a secondary suite in a home. That's something we're used to up in Canada. You have your basement that you can rent out. So think about it like that. You have your main area where you're living, and then you have a completely separate, with a separate entrance, part of the unit that you can rent out while you're living in your main unit. So you have a way to generate an income aside from whatever else you may be doing with your time. Okay. So yeah, and how much are those going for in this particular project, ladies? Like the lock-off units, are those the ones that are going for 240 USD?
Exactly. It's a very good price, a very competitive price, because as I said before, you have two units in one, so you have a lot of ways to make money with that. Actually, we only have one available, so if someone is interested, just call Letty. She can send you the whole information, because there's no another unit like this one in the area. Basically, we invented the lock off with a kitchenette. It's a full unit. So call Leticia and ask her for
Thank
more
you.
details. Another
Thank you.
thing that is very important, Leti, is that all of our units are fully furnished and fully equipped. Okay,
Yeah,
so you don't
yeah,
have to deal with the furnitures and where will you buy in it, and
that's right.
then the sizes. So don't worry about that. We use the highest qualities. We know very well after 14 developments the quality of the furnitures and the finishes, what works with this weather, what doesn't work. Uh, for example, the finishes that we put in our developments, we work with a company that it's called Piso 18. Okay, this
Okay.
company is international. It has a lot of offices around the world, and the kitchens, for example, they bring them. Bring them for Italy. Okay, for
Italy,
Milan.
Italy.
So
Yeah.
our Italy
Yeah.
kitchens, it has the seal of made in Italy,
Okay.
and they have worked with a lot of companies. For example, actually in New York, they made a tower, Casa Tower. They have
Okay.
worked with hotels, big hotels. For example, Breteles de Los Cabos in Mexico. So you can be sure that your unit will be equipped and furnished with the highest quality, that the furnitures will be very nice, but also low maintenance, which is very important.
And
You will
and
put
lasting and quality, because especially when we're talking about if you're going to be Airbnb your unit, and we're talking about
exactly.
potentially higher wear and tear, you've chosen providers that are known for quality and at the same time for the design. And again, we'll show you ladies, we'll show you guys some of the interiors of some of the units. So yeah, just like you see it in the pictures, that's how the unit will be delivered. So it saves a lot of guesswork. And I know this is something that if you're Canadian, that's not something you're usually used to. When you buy a condo in Canada, unless you somehow work out a deal with the seller, it's not common that you're gonna get a furnished unit. But in the Riviera Maya, this is common, especially because these units are meant to be able to be rented out. And so I did have that question for you, ladies. In your experience, what percentage of your units are being sold as investment condos versus units that people live in? Would you have any idea about that?
Yeah, definitely. The profile of buyer is more like an investor who wants to receive our ROI, but it depends. I mean, if in the typology or layout of studios is like that, but in bigger units, for example, penthouse or two-bedroom look-off, we have a lot of people that want to retire here in the Riviera Maya because they know that it's everything that we said before, a
Paradise? Yes.
low cost life, but also a high quality life. That's why they choose to live their retirement here. So I think it depends of the unit, but definitely in studios is more like an investors. Investors that want uh, to have capital gain and ROI, attractive ROI percentage.
Yeah, and we're talking about a certain amount of cash flow on a monthly basis. And I know you have a slide that you're going to show us, sort of like some sample information that you've put together. Do you have that? Would you be able to show us that, ladies?
Yeah, the
The,
ROI.
the little table that you had shown us that shows, if you were to invest, in a condo around this price point, what kind of rental rates can you get? You've already showed us that even in the worst year, what for many tourist destinations was one of the worst years possible, 2020, you showed us that the average rental rate for condos in Playa, and again, we're talking about, I'm guessing, the nicer condos. We're not talking about somebody's house that is completely different standard of rental. Um, yeah, I mean, I think it would be good for people to have a look. And we're talking about potentially regular monthly cash flow. And again, what we're seeing now, one thing I love about Playa as opposed to, other destinations in the world, we all know that, especially short-term rentals, things like Airbnb, were really cracked down on in places like Toronto even, and even places like Miami, for example. They've implemented a lot of regulations. Here in Playa, this is such an important industry, in Mexico, that the only thing they've done, the only thing the government has wanted to do is making sure that people that do rent out their condos on Airbnb pay tax on them. And I actually had a question a couple of weeks ago. One of my contacts in Canada said, well, I heard you have to pay 30% tax on your Airbnb rental, on your Airbnb income. So I've spoken to a local accountant, somebody with lots of experience who's been helping, a member of my family down here, and I asked him about that. And what he said was that basically there was so much tax evasion. People were earning a lot of money with these short-term rentals and nobody was paying tax on it. So what the government has decided to do here is to go straight through the platforms. So they went to Airbnb and said, no, now you got to charge 32% tax. Now, there is a way to avoid that so that you're not paying tax on the gross rental income, which is pretty punitive. So what you want to do is, again, work with an accountant and register yourself, basically declare your rental income with the Mexican authorities. And then the amount of tax you pay is a lot less because then you're only paying the taxes on the net income, not on the gross, which is what you want to be doing. And then you can provide that tax registration number to Airbnb and say, hey, I'm already declaring my taxes. Please don't deduct my income. And that's all they need to see. And again, the accountant assured me that that's how it works. As long as you have a tax registration number, they say, okay, well, this person is declaring their own income. We have the proof here. This the tax registration number. And then just like in Canada, we have many things we can deduct off the gross rental income. You have the same ability to do that here in Mexico, okay? That's sort of a side note that I think is important to cover because, people get scared and they're like, oh my God, how much tax am I gonna have to pay? It's not as bad, but you just gotta do things properly. And again, I have contacts to help with that if should you decide to move forward with something like this. Okay, ladies, what do you have here for us?
Okay. Here we have a ROI calculator or projection about a studio penthouse in Toulon, because we were talking about this property. Then we can show you Playa del Carmen. This is a unit studio penthouse. That means that you have a studio in the first floor, and in the second floor we have a private rooftop with a private pool. Okay. The price of this unit is $190,000. Okay, US dollars.
Yeah.
And here in the Riviera Maya we have 4 seasons, right, Eugenia? Do you want to explain a little bit more?
So the first season will be the low season, which goes from May 1st to September the 30th. The second will be the shoulder season, which will be October 1st to November 22nd. Then we start the high season, which is the 23rd of November to April 30th. And we have our special season, it's like 2 crazy weeks, which is Christmas week and New Year's week.
Exactly.
It is very crazy around here. So what we did, we estimated a rental price per day and how the expected occupancy of how many days will be from each season and the revenue coming from each season. We did so down there we did the estimated annual rental returns. We took away all the expenses, and then we that way we were able to calculate the return of investment.
Exactly. To be a little bit more specific, I mean, the low season has 152 days, which we are estimating, as Eugenia said, 65% of occupancy. That means that in the low season, you will do per year 8,892 US dollars, US dollars. Okay. Then we have the shoulder season. That is the same calculation. We have 95 rental rate per day for occupancy of 53 days in the whole season. 75%. You want to add something?
No, I think that's all very clear. So we're looking at an ROI, return on investment, of 9.3% per year. So anybody who's watching this thinking, okay, well, what should I do with my money? If you have money sitting in mutual funds, for example, you got to ask yourself, am I getting those types of returns right now? Now, realistically, we're talking about a unit that's 190,000 USD. That's not the entry price point. This is one of those. Is this the lock-off unit, ladies, or
This is the studio penthouse.
Oh, it's a studio penthouse, which I think you said there's only one of them left. So again, it's almost like a VIP type of unit. It has its own private rooftop terrace and little pool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the studio penthouse, and the unit that we have only one left in is the two-bedroom lock-off.
Oh, I see. Got it.
The
Okay.
the studio penthouse, the only one, like I was telling you yesterday, there's only one available in Playa that is a pre-sale on Cocoa Beach.
Look what
we
Sylvia
were-
is saying. Thank you,
Yeah.
Sylvia. Okay, so that's amazing. Thank you for that. So just people know, but again, the entry price point may be lower than that. I mean, studios in that studios in the Tulum building. What's the starting price?
125.
125 USD. So if any of you owns any property in Canada, and in case you're wondering, so again, if you're wondering how you may be able to fund this, you may ask yourself, like, can I get a mortgage as a Canadian and finance it? Maybe you don't have the total amount of funds. Now, I'll tell you, there is one company that I've been presented with over here that does financing for foreign clients, but in my experience, looking at what they offer, it's worse than a private lender in Canada. So the rates were very high and not favorable terms. So I think for anybody considering buying a project in the Riviera Maya, your best bet would be if you own your property back home and you have some equity in your, let's say, in your principal residence. If you're in a position to get what's called a home equity line of credit, or perhaps even a second mortgage, if you have any equity in your principal residence, right now, as we all know, HELOC rates and mortgage rates are very, very competitive right now. In fact, one of my clients recently took advantage of that, and she was able to get a mortgage at like 1.9% and a HELOC at like less than 3%. So, and the beauty with the HELOC is you don't have a minimum monthly payments that you have to make. If you take on a second mortgage, for example, you are going to be obligated to make certain monthly payments every month. So the HELOC gives you a bit more flexibility. If you're curious at all about those kinds of options, again, I work with a couple of very capable mortgage brokers in the Ontario area, and we can definitely, if you're somewhere else in Canada and you're thinking about this, I'm sure we can find you a reliable mortgage broker in your area, okay? And so because, again, it would not be in your advantage to try to work with the one financing company that I've been offered here. You're better off taking a private loan in Canada than doing that, okay? Now, if that's not an option, let's say you don't own your principal residence back home, then the other option is perhaps, and you don't have the liquidity to put down the payments. As you can see, you can have a payment plan. Now, some of the projects that Menasee has are what we call immediate delivery. So they're going to be ready by May of 2021. Entrega, meaning delivery, May of 2021. So, but if you don't have the money altogether, maybe what may be appealing to you is to choose a project whose closing is May of 2022. For example, the Tulum project, or do you want to talk a little bit about the Cocoa Beach project, Eugenia?
Sure, definitely. Let me show you the slide. Here it is.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Cocoa Beach is right in downtown area, but it's more in like a residential part of downtown Playa del Carmen. So this one is being delivered by March 2023. We have studios starting on $145,000, and apartments starting from $280,000. So
and
the
when you
great
say apartments, pardon, Eugenia, when you say apartments, are those again the lock-off units that we're talking about, or is this something else?
We have lock-up units, and also we have like 2 units of 1 bedroom. You know that studios are like mono-ambience units, but in a 1 bedroom, you have the separation between the bedroom and the common areas inside of the unit. In the case of the 2 bedroom lock-off, are
280.
exactly $280,000. But we have a lot of options that we can recommend you depending of your budget, your the time that you want to wait for your property. I mean, we have an option for each client and
Yeah,
each necessity or needs.
sure. Yeah.
Sorry.
So
Uh-huh.
go ahead.
I was going to say the great thing about this particular development is that it's modular. So let's say if you want a 2-bedroom apartment, um, and you see 2 studios together, we can join it and make a 2-bedroom. Or if you just want to buy 1 studio, we can have 1 studio sold to you. So we can kind of like mix and match.
Got it.
To be able
Yeah.
to, like we had this client, right? And then he wanted a 3-bedroom apartment. So we put 3 studios together to accomplish his needs because he
Got
wanted a 3-bedroom condo.
Got it. So, this building, again, the delivery would be May of 2023. So we're talking 2 years from now. So this would be for maybe a client who wants to get started, like aspires to own a condo, but maybe they don't have the entire amount of money right now to buy something that's available, spring of this year. So this gives them some time to pace themselves and make payments throughout the process. Now, and again, this is pretty common in terms of how it works here in terms of the down payment structure. When you make the offer, if you want to be taken seriously, you put down a refundable deposit of 5,000 USD. During that time, your notary has the time to review the paperwork, make sure. Now, in terms of this developer, of course, we always work with a legal professional, and in Mexico, it's a notary that handles the paperwork. They check the title, they check to see that the developer is who they say they are, they check to see who the director is, if like all those things are done by a legal professional. And then, provided all works out, which I don't see why it wouldn't, then you as a client commit with a 30% down payment, okay? And then before the delivery date of the condo, in this case, we're talking about 2 years from now, you have to come up with the remainder 60%, okay? And when it comes to properties that are immediate delivery or delivery in a couple of months, it works the same way. In other words, that final 60 or 70% will be due at the time of closing. It says here, during construction upon delivery. I see. So you guys are even leaving that final 10% for delivery. Now, this particular building has a lot of amenities, right, Eugenia? The Cocoa Beach building?
Yes. So this one is definitely, we're thought, especially for the digital nomad. So, and for everyone that wants to enjoy Playa. It's only 300 meters away from the beach. It has a concierge, so if you would like to reservation for a particular restaurant for dinner or rent a car, that person will take care of that. It has a gym and it has a laundry room inside of the building, so you don't have to go around and wander for a laundromat. It has a bar and grill on the rooftop with an amazing view, which led was amazed by one of our condos right next to it, the shore.
Yeah, I'll show you guys a little video, kind of in conclusion. Yeah.
Perfect. And we have a meeting center. Parking is. We have a smart room, which is a little kit that comes with every single unit to make it smart. So you can control the lights, you can control the music, the AC. It's up to you. The sky's the limit. And we also have a spa, and we have a massage area. So you can come here, feel like you're staying in a hotel in your condo.
So very, very upscale and all-inclusive, like amenities. Like you could have your massage therapist meet you there. They don't need to bring their table. You can just literally book the massage room and they'll come. Practical lifestyle. So. So, ladies, thanks to both of you. Eugenia, yesterday you were kind enough to take me on a tour of some of your projects that are currently being built here in Playa. And I took a few videos and I compiled them in a video that's about 9 minutes long. And I would like to share that in conclusion, because I think when people get, it's just a video says so much, when people see. So I'm gonna see if I can share. How would I do that? Thank you. Share and video file, share screen. Give me a second. I will share the screen. Okay. Okay. Select Windows a screen. Yes. Okay. Okay. Let me know if you're able to see it. I'm gonna click on start. Are you able to see my screen share, ladies?
No, not yet.
Okay. Let me go back to you. Okay. Would you allow StreamYard to see your screen? Select presentation. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna click on entire screen for now. Okay, allow. And now I'm gonna click on this. No, here, nest condos. Okay, there you go. Okay. Okay. Oh,
Right
no,
now we
that's
can
not.
see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Okay.
the full screen could be best for the videos. Right now we're watching and yeah, right now. Here, there he is. There he is.
Okay.
Perfect.
Can you hear the sound too, ladies?
No.
No.
No, the
No.
sound is
You
not
can't hear.
available.
Uh-oh. Okay.
I mean,
Oh
we
man, I should have
hear
just.
you, but not the music.
Oh,
Yeah,
there it is.
yeah.
You were able to hear it. Okay, can you play it again?
No.
Maybe because it was paused for a little bit.
Well, I stopped it for a second because you're saying you couldn't. Okay, remove. Let's try again.
Okay.
Thanks for your patience, everyone. I should have checked this earlier, but everything was kind of done last minute. Let's try it again. Share, add to stream. That's us. And now I'm gonna click on my video. No, here.
Oh, there.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Can you hear the sound of the video?
No, now we cannot hear.
Oh man, I don't know what to do. Let me see. Basically, I need to be able to give. Okay, give me a sec. Because I was, as I'm walking around, I'm, oh, how would I, you are showing your entire screen, yes. Oh man, okay. I don't really want to share my entire screen. I want to just share this. Yeah.
Now,
Still no sound?
we already can hear.
No, but she on those videos she was talking. She was narrating what
okay,
she's saying, but
so
you can't hear that.
So yeah, if for some reason you're not able to hear my sound, we did a little tour of the various buildings yesterday. And I was commenting as I'm,
Yes.
well, you know what I'm gonna do? I did upload this video to YouTube, to my private YouTube channel. So I'm gonna share the link and people can watch it. Okay?
Perfect.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'm gonna share
I
that
want
in
to
the
see it
comments.
too.
In the comment section on StreamYard, and also I will share it on YouTube and on Facebook. Let me see if there were any additional comments on Facebook, ladies. Yes, I'm gonna stop the screen share because there's no point. And for next time, I'll have to figure out how to share the sound as well. Okay, I'm just checking on Facebook to see if there were any comments. Okay. Okay. Well, actually, the comments we already saw, they were the same comments that populated on the StreamYard. So yeah, what I'll do for everybody watching, I will post the link to the video of my little video compilation if people want to have a look. Okay, because I think you'll get a nice visual. Okay, as to what's available. And so thank you so much, lovely ladies. Thank you for joining me today. And if anybody's interested, feel free to reach out to me. I essentially will work with these two lovely ladies. They are in-house agents with the developer, and they, any paperwork we need, they'll get everything ready. Contracts. If you need to make any sort of payment arrangement, especially if you're looking at a project that has a longer closing date, that 60%, my understanding is that it can be negotiated in terms of when you make the payments. You really have, the developer is willing to be flexible in terms of the payment structure. So, today was just really meant to be an introduction and just something to kind of open your mind to the possibilities. And I think especially for clients who are, living in Canada and maybe are feeling priced out of the Toronto market, or they're feeling, or the GTA, or they're thinking like, you know what, there's no way I'm going to be able to get those kinds of ROIs if I buy a condo here for $530,000, whatever the price may be for a condo in Toronto, not to mention the impact that's, that COVID might have had on that rental market. Something to keep in mind, you have options, and I'm here on the ground, and so are these lovely ladies. And happy to answer any questions you may have. Okay, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks again, Mariana and Eugenia, for joining us.
Thank you, Leti.
Thank you for inviting us.
My pleasure.
Subscribe to the channel, the latest channel.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Beas. Pleasure seeing you, and thanks everyone for watching, and look forward to seeing you on future editions of our Money Matters webinars. Take care. Bye for now. Bye, everybody.